Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is the next book with Tamaki Amajiki and a female listener, titled Rapid Fate Online. Those who read this book on Wattpad will be very excited to see it come to life. It was a favourite of many and took second place in the 2020 BNHA Awards for Best Character X Reader, so I hope you here on YouTube enjoy it as much as the Wattpadians did. The inspiration for this book came from a few different sources, from anime mostly, from Sword Art Online, The Rising of the Shield Hero, and Konosubarashi, as well as some MMORPG games such as Ragnarok, the Final Fantasy series, and a light novel called Overgeared. Now, look, I'll level with you guys, I'm not a gamer. I'm a writer. So a lot of the technical side of the gameplay of this book was overseen by hubby, who goes by the name Twonkle. Those on Wattpad will remember him as Twonkle. He's very particular with power scaling, etc. So if you have any complaints about those types of things, then I'll forward them on to him. That's his domain. A lot of the book will be explained as we go, but the game itself, Rapid Fate Online, does not exist. I made it up. The money in the game is called Mahi, and again, I made it up. I did have people on Wattpad asking me where they could play the game RFO, and I had to break it to them very gently that it didn't actually exist. Moving on from that, there are a few adult scenes that I've once again removed for the purpose of YouTube, but I hope that you enjoy the plot anyway. Back when this book was on Wattpad, I did get a message from a follower named Katsumidev, who incidentally is here on YouTube as well, and she asked if she could read my book for YouTube. This was a few years ago, so I agreed, and she does have the first chapter up on her channel, and then I don't know what happened, but she just stopped. So I'll be putting it on my channel, seeing as I wrote the book, and posting it from start to finish so the whole book can be found completed here. But if you do happen to see the first chapter on her channel, it's all good. She did have permission to post it. Also, side note, if you don't like Sayo, Sword Art Online, then maybe don't listen to this story because they are on a very similar vein and I don't want to mislead anyone. But if you are ready for something a little different, then let's get to it. This is Chapter 1 of Rapid Fate Online, and this one is titled Rapid Fate Online. I just don't see what the big deal is, you replied to your best friend as you sat eating lunch together in the food court area of UA High School. You and your bestie were both third-year students in the hero course. Your quirk, Body Switch, allowed you to swap places with anyone that you could see. So if you wanted to swap locations with someone across the room, all you had to do was look at them and then activate your quirk, and all of a sudden you would be where they were standing and they would be where you were standing. Not the flashiest quirk, but it was practical and tactical and fantastic for catching villains quickly. All you had to do was hop into the barred section of a police vehicle and look out through the bars at the villain in question and activate your quirk. Hey presto, problem solved. Well, most of the time. But enough about you and your quirk. Your best friend had just bought the latest online game called Rapid Fate Online, or RFO for short, and she was obsessed with it. No, seriously, she said, leaning towards you with the juice popper hanging out of her mouth. It's amazing. It can't be that good, can it? You replied skeptically. No, legit. The graphics are next level. You remember Sword Art Online, yeah? Yeah, the online game where the creator was a bored multi-billionaire who turned villain and trapped all of the players in the game so that he had friends to play with, and if they died in-game, they died in real life too? You replied, leaning back in your chair with a harrowed look on your face as you crossed your arms across your chest. Yeah, well, this game's created by the same company. Hard pass, you said loudly, throwing your arms up in an X shape across your body. No, she laughed. That villain billionaire guy committed suicide, so it's all groovy, baby. But this game uses the same technology as that game, and honestly, you have to try it. You sighed heavily and relaxed your arms. If I come over and try your game once, will you get off my case? Just one taste and you'll want more, your friend sang passionately, clutching her fist closed and squeezing her eyes as she sang. You rolled your eyes and laughed. Okay, I'll try it. Tonight? She yelled excitedly. Yeah, fine, tonight then, you replied. She jumped up and screamed and shouted hooray, which drew a lot of attention, as you can imagine. What's all the excitement? Your other classmate, Tagata Mirio, asked as he strode over, followed by his two friends. Bestie here is obsessed with that new game, Rapid Fate. Mirio nodded enthusiastically. Yeah, and she wants me to try it, you said. Oh, that's awesome, Mirio replied. I haven't tried it yet, but I've heard it's amazing. It is amazing, your best friend said emphatically. Tamaki, Nijiri, either of you two played it? Mirio asked as he turned to his two closest friends. Nope, Nijiri replied in a bubbly voice. Tamaki just looked at the floor with his hands in his pockets, trying to stand as still as possible, almost as if he was hoping that by standing so still he would turn invisible. You found Tamaki adorable, in a weird kind of way. He was painfully shy, and you guys had never really spoken, but he was good-looking and gentle, which you liked. Tamaki? Mirio pressed. The shy bean shoved his hands deeper in his pockets and hunched his shoulders, his lips quivering as he lowered his head further. Oh God, don't stress the poor guy, you thought. Tamaki would have better things to do, you replied, Mirio with a wink, taking the heat off Tamaki, but at the same time hoping to get a rise out of your best friend. It worked a charm. Excuse me, better things? Your best friend scoffed. You won't be saying that once you've experienced this game. You laughed. We'll see. Okay, your best friend squealed as you both walked into her room later that day. Lie down on the bed, she said excitedly as she got the headgear ready for you. You chuckled. It was cute watching her get so excited about this game. You jumped onto her bed and lay down, getting comfy while she bounced around the room. Okay, so you'll be using my account because it's all set up for me. I'm still level 1, not really sure what skill set I want to pursue yet, so I'm just an unspecified villager at this moment, she laughed. Okay, I have no idea what you just said, but awesome, you replied with a thumbs up. You don't need to worry about any of that. Just have a walk around and look at this amazing world, she squealed again as she put the headgear on your head. Okay, lie back. You obeyed. I'm pressing start. Oh, one last thing. To get out of the game, just swipe your hand down in the air like this. She held her hand up mid-air, about head height, and then dropped it down in a swipe motion. You looked at her skeptically. No, seriously, she laughed. A menu bar will pop up and you just scroll down to the bottom and point your finger at log out. I'm going to get stuck in this game, aren't I? You said with a deadpanned expression. No, you won't, I promise. If you're not back offline in 1 hour, I'll manually log you out from the headset here, she said with a laugh. Okay, now go and see. She forced your head back onto the pillow and pressed a button on the side of the headgear. Welcome to Rapid Fate Online, an all-encompassing voice announced to you as you were sucked into a spiral of colours. You felt your whole body being sucked into this vortex of colour, and then all of a sudden you were standing in a field. You blinked and looked around. You looked down. Your body was there, your hands were there. You were still in human form, but just in tattered villager clothes. Why the hell am I standing in a field? You turned around and started walking. It all felt so real. The sun, the breeze. You inhaled deeply. I'm having a hard time believing this is a fake world. The graphics are actually incredible. You bent down and picked a flower. You could even feel the flower stem between your thumb and forefinger. And there ends Chapter 1 of Rapid Fate Online. Stay tuned for Chapter 2 coming tomorrow.